Hey everybody, it's Derek and I'm here to talk about crowdfunding. So I've wanted to do this video for a while and I've been trying to think of ways to do this. And I think like a recap at the end of the week works really well. Maybe at the beginning of the week, I don't know, some crowdfunding projects and campaigns end at different times. So I want to try to encapsulate as many of them as I can. And so that's what this is going to be. I want to do a video on projects that the Board Game Spotlight is backing, some games that Lizzie and I are backing that we want to show love and support to, whether or not that's for a full pledge, whether or not that's for $1, for awareness, whatever it is. We just want to bring more awareness to the project, right? We want to spotlight it. I am going to talk just about Kickstarter here. Now, that's not to say that I don't use GameFound. I do. I use it less regularly than I do Kickstarter, so I'm not as involved with GameFound, and I don't really know how many projects or what's live on GameFound as much as I do with Kickstarter. So all that to say, I will do a better job of also looking at GameFound projects. So if you're watching this video, I'd love to know of projects that are live now on GameFound that you are backing or that you're interested in. Of course, now we have BackerKit, which is also a crowdfunding website. So there's a lot going on, and there are a lot of options available to consumers, which I think is great. But it can also be a little daunting at the same time. Is like, okay, we have 3 crowdfunding platforms. Which are we using? What's live where? And so I think that's something that I can do a good job, or at least do a better job of bringing awareness to those. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to talk about Dead Reckoning Letters from Mark. This is the expansion to Dead Reckoning, which is a pirate adventure card crafting game. Ruel Gaviola from Tabletop Tonight did a live stream last night on the Board Game Spotlight. He did an awesome job. In fact, I am going to try to play this weekend with Lizzie. We've not played Dead Reckoning yet, but we backed the all-in from the first Kickstarter, and I am going to I've pledged for this expansion content. So you can see they're doing really well. They have 7 hours left. So if you're watching this video live, now is your chance to get it. If you're watching it later, the campaign may have ended. But we're going to kind of go through the page and kind of show you what's going on here, give you a sense of what you can expect from the game, the pledge levels. You can get back into getting like the all-in things that you may have missed. You can see here on the right side with your pledges. They have Pledge Manager access, which is great. They've got your base game with the new expansion. Here's your all-in if you're wanting to get all of that content there. And then another all-in, which has like the neoprene mat and the metal coins and all the awesome awesomeness. This game has an awesome table presence. I've seen people posting about it. I've seen pictures. Of course, I watched the live stream from Well last night, and I'm super impressed with the way that it looks. And some of my friends have been talking about it and how much they've enjoyed it. So just the fact that it's gotten such great praise among you know, hobbyists, game players, my friends, reviewers, I really want to check it out. So I do remember playing Edge of Darkness from John DeClaire, which had kind of this similar mechanism of dropping cubes down a tower. So I see that's back, and I'm glad that's back because that's such a really cool mechanic, kind of like a Plinko type effect. In this case, you know, they're trying to land at different areas for effects, which is pretty neat for that battle system there. And if you're watching, leave a comment. I'd love to ask a question, whatever it is you want to do. I'd love to just have a chat here and talk and hang out and do a little Kickstarter spotlight. I'm a huge fan of John DeClaire's work, and I love the card crafting system. So this, to me, I'm pretty sure that I'm really gonna like this. It's a really long campaign page, so I'm just kind of like going through it. I'm not gonna deep dive the campaign page. This is more of just, this series is supposed to be kind of like a quick hitting, hey, these are the things that I'm backing and I think you should take a look at as well. Of course, I only have 4 games to talk about today because there's only 4 games that I'm currently backing. So if there's more that I don't talk about in this segment, please let me know, because I want to ensure there's nothing I'm missing, right? Because sometimes it happens. I do miss a game here or there. I try to do as best I can to see what's available. And you know, you just never know what's going to happen. Okay, so we talked about the reward levels. So here's a graphic, you know, showing those there, kind of what you're gonna, well, what you are gonna get with those pledge levels. So that's awesome. There's all those expansions. I do like the way the sleeves look here. I think those are pretty cool. And if you're watching, we're using Restream now, which allows us to stream to Facebook and YouTube. If you're watching via Facebook, please give Restream the ability to use your name. I would love to know who I'm chatting with, other than Facebook user. I love you all the same. You know, I'm not gonna no playing favorites, but I would love to know who it is that I'm chatting with over on Facebook. So please do that for me. All right, so we're getting towards the end here. Here's all the preview videos for the game. It's been covered a lot. It does have solo play, so that's, you know, if you're a solo gamer, that's important. And really, if you have a certain reviewer that you like watching, they probably have a video on this. It's also on TTS, so that's pretty sweet. So I'll have to probably try that out as well. There's a tutorial there on how to play Dead Reckoning on TTS. I like that. I will probably have to use that later. All right, so that's Dead Reckoning. You have 7 hours. I'm going to scroll to the top of the page real quick. Hyperdrive. Whoop. You have 7 hours to back the game. There you have it. Moving on to another big game. We are going with Foundations of Rome, Roads of Fortune, and the second printing. So this is a new expansion for the game. If you own Foundations of Rome, and if you missed Foundations of Rome, you can get in on it. Now, Foundations of Rome, I have played many times. It is one of my favorite games from 2022, and I think this is the magnum opus. This is Emerson's best game. Like, whatever that word is, this is Emerson's best game to date, and it is just, it's incredible. It is so easy to play, so easy to teach, but it has so much strategy and so much depth that I can't stop playing it. And I know it's expensive. It is certainly a collector's item, but I'm serious. This game is incredible. And if you get a chance to play it, do not pass that up. And if you have the chance to purchase it, I highly, highly recommend it. This is going to be in the running for one of the most played games that I have of 2022. It's just great. So you've got the expansion here. I haven't actually, so I'll be honest, I haven't actually looked at the expansion. I saw them, go live and immediately just pledged, knowing that I wanted it for the game because of how much I love the game. So this is the first time I'm looking at the campaign page because I hit pledge and forgot about it. Oh, hey, Justin. What's up? Great to see you. Back to Deckhand, going to add letters of mark. Yeah, so you can add things to the pledge manager, which is great. Back what we were talking about there for Dead Reckoning. This box is huge, by the way. It is pretty large, but it's packed full of crazy stuff. Like these trays are crazy simple. Like you play out of the tray, so setup is insanely fast. You pull out your tray, you take off the top, you shuffle some decks, and you go. It really is almost that fast. There's it's got a solo mode, which we talked about solo play being really important nowadays. It has a 5th player expansion. There's a lot of variety as well. You've got personal objectives you can complete. There's the monuments expansion that allows you to build monuments into Rome, which I think is great. Well, there you go. Oh, sweet. They used one of my quotes here. And I truly believe this is Emerson's greatest work. I love Emerson's games though, so I just think this is his best so far, which is great. You see here, I'm not gonna, you've probably seen it talked about. You've seen it on the table, so I won't take a whole lot of time here on the page. This is exciting though that it fits inside the core box, so I'm very happy about that because I was worried that this expansion wouldn't fit in the base game. So I'm very happy that they say that it will. So that's great. Lots of really cool add-ons here. You can get a custom carrying case. Now, if you're carrying this to game night, you honestly may need a carrying case for it because it will completely take up most of your board gaming bag. If you use board gaming bags like I do from boardgametables.com, you might have room for some small box games, but it's gonna take up a large majority of that box. I didn't get the Sundrop miniatures because I ended up painting mine. The neoprene mat looks pretty cool, actually. The gameplay mat. I do have a game topper, so it's cool that they worked with game toppers to make a table mat for them. So that's pretty neat. Metal coins. I'm a sucker for metal coins. I'm a sucker for just like blinging and upgrading my games and making them cooler. So metal coins, absolutely. Give it all to me. Hey, what's up, K Smith 78 over on YouTube? Yeah, so and I totally get that. It is an expensive game. The amount of plastic that's in the game certainly is detrimental to price, of course. This to me feels like if you have someone in your gaming group that can purchase it, this is just a awesome game to have inside like a core gaming group. Like if you can't back it, maybe there's somebody that can, and then again it plays up to 5 players, so you get an opportunity to play it from time to time with your gaming group. But I definitely understand that it's a big purchase. Absolutely is. A friend of mine actually got this at Gen Con, and it was like the only purchase he made while he was there at the show. Because I mean, it's what he had budgeted for, and he's like, "This is what I'm doing," and he has not regretted it at all. In fact, he's played it a ton since coming back from Gen Con already. So I think he's pretty happy with that purchase. That's awesome that you do have someone in your game group that can play it with. That's awesome. That's great. All right, so it's going to get down into the reviewers and media, and it's going to get into all the previews and videos and whatnot. So you can find those all over the interwebs, all over YouTube if you want to take a look at those. All right, hyperdrive up. So again, this game has 3 days left, so nearing the final 48 hours here. So if you're interested in jumping in on this, now's your chance. There is Pledge Manager access, from what I could tell. You just pull it up and double check that. Yeah, there is Pledge Manager support. So if you're like, hey, I don't know if I can do this now, maybe you need to wait a little bit, you do have that opportunity there. Yeah, that was all they could carry at once. Yeah, that's probably about true. Um, Carrying that around the convention hall would be pretty hard. I'd want to get that up to my room as fast as possible. All right, let's move over to the next game, Halls of Hegra. This is from Peter Shank Olsen, who did. I am completely blanking. Donning the Purple. Donning the Purple is a game for 1 to 3 players. This is his newest game where you play as Norwegian volunteers who are trying to repel German attacks. I love this historical approach. I love games that tell stories that are largely unknown. And I'm really excited for this. This is a 1-player only game. This is a solo only game. So that also intrigues me. I have a few solo only games like Warp's Edge, Proving Grounds. Like there's some games that are just strictly 1 player, and I like them. So I am supporting this campaign because it is interesting to me. It looks unique, and I want to support Peter here. So here's David Turchi saying that it's the game he wishes Robinson Crusoe could be. So that's quite interesting. So you're getting a little bit of, I guess, it's a little some similarities to Robinson Crusoe there. This is another game that I didn't check. So there are games that I'll back without even checking the campaign page because I will have been following them on social media, or it's a creator or a publisher that I really like, and so I'll back it without even checking the campaign page. And this was one I was following on social media that I knew that I wanted to back regardless. So I didn't even take a look at the campaign page. But here's David Thompson, who's designed a lot of my favorite games. He did Undaunted. He worked on War Chest. So his recommendation here makes me feel really confident in this purchase. Looks like it's a good mix of Euro things happening here. Looks like it's going to be tough, which is good. Like from a solo game, I want the game to be difficult. So I am looking forward to checking this out. Here's all the components, wooden components. You got some previews and playthroughs here if you're interested in watching those. I know One Stop Co-op Shop does a great job. So does Not Board Gaming, Mark Dainty there. Wonderful videos from both of those channels. I regularly watch both of them if I'm looking for solo content, or if there's a cooperative game coming out that I'm interested in, I'll watch their stuff too. And yeah, so you can find all these videos. I'm not going to keep going. I mean, there are stretch goals too that they've unlocked, which is great. I'm not going to, go through. Oh, okay. We are going to check the artwork. I'm a sucker for art. They got me. Good thing I kept scrolling. Oh, okay. So okay, right here, Jog Brogden. I follow them on social media, and they regularly post like they're they're not necessarily a cartographer, but they make maps like D&D, fantasy maps for obviously games. So this is pretty awesome to see somebody that I follow on social media have a map in the game. I really like this art too. And then cool, so they've got the history behind it. So there's a Wikipedia article, which Wikipedia is Wikipedia, but then there's an article from Time. That's pretty cool. So there you have it. We're gonna hyperdrive back up. Boom. Halls of Hegra has 6 days left. If this looks like something you want to check out, again, solo only, historical focus, take a look at that game. And we're going to move on to the last one that I'm currently kickstarting. And that is going to be Trailblazers. So Trailblazers just launched this week, and it has 27 days to go. So you've got some time. And this is a game that I've seen a lot of content creators talking about. It's also from Ryan Courtney, who did Pipeline and Curious Cargo. So I'm already intrigued because Ryan has done some pretty heavy games. And so if he's delivering a somewhat lighter game, I'm assuming it's going to have really great decision making and strategy involved. And I just really love the presentation of this game. It gives me like Parks vibes, like Parks and Trails from Keymaster. So I'm excited to take a look at this one. It's route building, and I love this little carrying case. So that's pretty sweet. Of course, going in for the deluxe copy of the game. I mean, you can't go anything less than that. I mean, you can. I can't go for anything less than the deluxe. I'm a sucker for that type of thing. But there's a print and play option, which I love. I love games that allow print and play options. I think those are awesome. If you've listened to our podcast, you have probably seen or listened to us talk about all these print and play roll and writes that are coming out that we really love, and I'm really happy to see that taking off as a more environmentally friendly strategy for games. Of course, not all games are going to be able to do that, but I'm really digging those. Rado here is loving it. I actually have a lot of overlapping tastes with Rado, so if he likes something, I generally also enjoy it. So I, me personally, as a consumer and as a content creator, will look for Rado's videos and recommendations because if he covers it, I'm probably gonna like it. So he's somebody that I like to watch. Good how to play video here. So here's just kind of showing what's going on. You're constructing your routes, and there's a push your luck aspect there, so that's cool. There's animals and adventurers. Again, there's solo play with solo challenges. So I think that's a great way of approaching solo games is giving like challenges to complete. I like that. You can check out the rule book. You can try the standard multiplayer on TTS, on Tabletop Simulator. So there you have it. If you are interested, I'm going to scroll past the videos here. And okay, so here's, if looks like something that's interesting to you, I'd take a look at it. You've got the travel edition, which goes in that little like case with a carabiner on it. So that's pretty cool, easy to hike with. They're also doing durable waterproof cards, the PVC plastic cards. Huge sucker for that. Love plastic cards. Chip Theory Games spoiled me on that. So here's your standard edition, which I'm assuming will go to retail. Typically, that's what goes to retail is the standard. Then you got your deluxe, which comes with that clamshell case and also provides the PVC cards. Tons of wood figures, screen printed animals. Oh, well, just screen printed meeples, animals and people and things. So I'm looking forward to this one. So that's all I've got today. Some of these videos will be shorter than others. Some will be longer. Just depends on what I'm backing and what's live on Kickstarter. If there's something I've missed, if there's a project that you're backing right now that you're excited about, please let me know in the comments because I would also love to check it out because I'm always wanting to learn more and find projects that I may not have noticed yet. So I want to say thank you to everyone who watched and everyone who's watching this post live. I hope you've enjoyed this segment. Let me know if this is something you would like to see more of, or if there's something that if there's another type of content or segment that you would like to see the Board Game Spotlight do. This to me is fun because I already do a lot of research on this type of thing. So talking about these projects and just bringing more awareness to them is something I love doing. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next week.